Hello, hello, hello. It's me, Raj Garcia. If you don't know me by now, welcome to my world, and welcome to the first episode of the School of Lifeforce podcast. I'm so excited to be here, and I'll introduce a little bit of myself in a moment. I'll tell you why I'm here. People have been saying to me for a while, Raj, do you have a podcast? You should have a podcast. Something about your voice, Raj. And there is something about my voice. I see it as my superpower. I use it to guide meditations. I use it to slow people down. I use it to bring light and aliveness into people as well. I coach people one to one. I coach groups sometimes. I lead. And I'm there for people. So that's how I use this voice. It's moving through me. It's bursting through me, actually. So when I finally said, okay, I'm going to do the podcast, I started getting excited. And I said, what could I share? What could I talk about? Some people were like to me, Raj, I don't care what you talk about as much as hearing you speak. And I was like, cool, okay, fine, but I want to have deep impact, right? I'm going to have a lot of fun doing this, but I want to have deep impact. So the thing that I represent is this thing called life force. And you might notice the way I say that word. It's almost like a dance. Life force. It excites me. Why? What does that mean? Well, it means the fire, the light, the bursting of energy that's within us. You can probably feel it in yourself right now. And note, by the way, some of this listening to my podcast will feel like a meditation because that's how I use my voice. I slow it down, I speed it up, it bursts out. It's loud, it's soft. It's different shapes and forms. So if you feel yourself going into a trance, if you feel some aliveness, if you get some insights, whatever's going on for you, whenever you listen to me, that is exactly what you need. I'm not here to say that I'm doing anything to you. I'm here to say I'm expressing this, and maybe it's being heard. Maybe it's moving through you in some way, which raises awareness, raises energy, or something else. That's the gift that I have, that I'm here to use in this podcast. Not just to show off me. It doesn't make sense, because this thing is more than me. It's to bring you to that place, that life force, that aliveness. So, life force. I can go into this more, and I will. It means the thing that is moving through everything. It's not just humans, it's moving through the plants, it's moving through the air, it's in the elements, it's in the ocean, it's in the sky. It's everything that is alive, but it's the source of it. It's the source. You think about it, scientists will say we're broken down into cells and DNA and whatever else they'll say. I'm talking about something even before that, the primal force. when something comes on, switched on, like a light. Switch on the light. There's an electricity moving through it. There's light that appears in front of us. What is that thing that powers electricity? You know, that's a mind-blowing question. What powers electricity? What is it? You can think of some science terms if you want. There are some. But I'm going to take you back to everything comes from life force. So, life force. That's what I represent. That's the only thing I work for. I made a pledge. I was going through a process at one point. I would call myself a modern day yogi. I still do sometimes as well. I was going through the yogic process of understanding what everything's made of. And I realized this life force. I had a deep connection to it. And it was almost like this calling of like, wow, I have to represent this. This is what I stand for. And there's different pillars and different ways that this can be used. There's other parts of this, right? Other parts to what I represent. This is massive. Because I spent most of my life stuck in my head. I had an abundance of this energy, this life force, but I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't understand it. I wasn't conscious of it, and it was most of the time causing all this tension inside me, anxiety, overthinking, fight or flight. I lived in fight or flight a lot, constantly like getting triggered by things. Because I had an abundance of this life force, but it was like my mind was coming in and it wasn't understanding what's going on. There's a lot of things going on, and we'll get into that in other episodes. Life force. That is the thing that moves all the energy. It moves all the thoughts. It moves everything. And then let's go into the second part of the name of this podcast and the name of the movement that I'm creating, not just this podcast. This is what I represent now. This movement, the School of Life Force. That's me, that's my brand. That's what I represent. School of Life Force. I say school because not so don't think of like your school that you went to as a kid, or you can actually think of that in a way, but don't get lost in like, oh, I didn't like school, I don't like school. Think of a learning process, a place where you can learn and grow. School, you're learning. That's what this podcast is going to be about. I'm going to share things, I'm going to bring some people on, and you can listen and learn. It's going to be amazing. That's one way to think about school, but the other way to think about school is a school of fish, they say. A school of fish. School of fish. That means is a group. The togetherness. They're together. That's also something I represent. Unity. You know, when I say yoga, I'm not talking about these stretching my leg behind my head. I don't want to do that. That's not useful for me. I don't see the point in body distortion processes. It's just not for me, by the way. Maybe it's for other people. I see yoga as what it means, which is unity. It means uniting things. Uniting the forces within us, uniting parts of us, uniting our life. You might say alignment, you might say something else, but unity, oneness, that's what it really represents. So school is a togetherness. You know, imagine schools where you sit in a class, you're together in the room, you're learning together. That's what we're doing here. So I want this to be about. I want this to be almost like a community. of like-minded learning. The other way to think about school is, people will say a school of thought, a school of this. It's a way of doing things. It's a way of seeing things. And I want to introduce you into my way. Because I found, after many years of being lost and confused, I found what seems to be useful for me. And the whole reason I'm here, and I started doing all this work and getting into the eye and the public eye and posting things, is because something was oozing out of me. I couldn't keep it to myself. It just didn't make sense. Something wanted to come out of me. It wanted to be shared. It wanted to use me almost as a vehicle. I'm using it. I'm embodying all of this. I want to share it. School as a way of. School as a way of. And I'm not saying I am the ultimate truth and you only listen to me and I'm right or wrong. It's more of a thing to provoke, in a good way, provoke, by the way, to provoke new ways of seeing things, to give you options, invitations. And I'm learning too. I'm continuing to grow. And I've uncovered a lot of stuff. I'm going to share a lot of that with you. And I'm going to continue to grow as well. So we're here together. School. Growth. I'm going to share what I know constantly for you. And we're going to learn and we're going to be together. School of Life Force. It's exciting, isn't it? To think of it like that. Because the other part of this is playfulness. Why is it a school? Because it's playfulness. Going to school, having our little lunch bag and stuff. That kind of buzz can come back into us. School, learning process, a place to learn where we can choose, right? We're adults now, we get to choose. We get to learn and say, I want to go to school, this is fun. That childlike, sponge-like learning. I enjoy it, whenever I'm a learner, of course. That's why there's a school right now. I love to learn things. I love to go to places where there's like-minded people. There's people that I want to listen to and grow from. It's not everyone, but there are some people, where I'm like, wow, I want to learn this school of doing things, this way of doing it. And then mix it into how I operate in the world, right? And evolve and grow. So that's what it's about. It's for taking everything I say and bringing it into your life, practicing. Practicing. I'll say things, and it's not always for you to just take the words and read it out. It's not actually like that at all, actually. Now I think about it, it's more about a stimulus. Like you hear some music and something moves through you and you feel something, some energy. That's really what I want to direct you towards. Insights and application, wisdom, space, optimizing, clarity, all of that good stuff and more. Anyway, don't want this to sound like a sales thing. Instead, it's an invitation to show you what this is all about. And I can't wait. Got a lot to share. I've been through some challenges in life. And that's the reason why I went into this world of learning and this school for myself almost. Relearning, like we go to school as kids, we pick up things and then sometimes it becomes this thing that we stay with forever. Stay with this forever things of like, this is permanent, this is how things are, this is how life is. My thoughts, for me, it was like, oh, I'm an anxious person, I'm this, I'm awkward, I'm this and that and that. I get triggered by this. I get angry by this. It's like this old stuff, old programs. And then I covered up some of the good stuff, got into these habits as I grew up. So it's like school doesn't end after we finish, I don't know, whenever, like, whatever type of level of school you went to. School doesn't end. It's like we're learning all these things in life. You go to university, if you went to university, I did, or you go to high school. We're having all these learning experiences, like fast growth. Even when we're little kids, we're learning. And then we go and we finish all that. And yeah, loads of people will learn and grow, but I'm talking about continuous development, continuous schooling, right? And in a way that's useful, right? I don't need to learn things to pass an exam. This is not what this school is for, the School of Life Force. It's not to pass an exam. It's not to say, oh, you're a good boy, you're a good girl. You know, there are some assessments we can do that are useful, but it's for useful things in life, useful things that can actually help us to be better. So that's what this whole thing's about, School of Life Force. And this is the thing I want to do to create impact in the world. And it's awesome to have you a part of it, listening, absorbing whatever you want, kicking back and relaxing. Maybe you're walking, whatever, however it works best for you, right? So I think we will bring this intro episode to an end right there. So again, I'm Raj Garcia. This is the School of Life Force podcast. And welcome to the school. It's great to have you here. And look forward to next episodes where I'm going to be diving deep into topics like meditation. I'm going to explain to you the actual chemistry and science behind it. I'm going to show you what's going on when we're listening to someone's voice. I'm going to talk to you about confidence. I'm going to talk to you about doing scary things, share all the scary things I've done. We're going to talk about health because that was the massive thing for me. That's how this whole thing got started. I went into bodybuilding, fitness, running, performance sports, and I got into it and it helped me get out of my head. I learned a lot about nutrition. That's going to be covered at some point in the podcast. The body stuff, the energy stuff, and then also the peace and mindfulness, the presence, that stuff, and the soul and the heart stuff. What do we love to do in life? What makes us feel fully expressed and alive? Yeah, you can feel me getting pumped up right now. And then all the like challenges that come along the way. Like even things like creating a business or creating something that you want to do in the world, writing a book, whatever it is. I'm going to talk about all that cool stuff, like what gets in the way. I'm going to bring some leaders in. I'm going to talk about how their world shows up, you know? So I can't wait. Oh, and travel stuff. I'm a big traveler. I'm going to tell you some stories about when I went to different countries and how I lost my passport twice, the learnings I got from that. I'm going to share some stories that people might have never ever heard before. Can't wait. It's going to be fun. Anyways, I think we'll leave it there. Lovely to have you here with me, either listening or watching it online, the video format, whatever's best for you. And if you want to check out some of the stories that I'm putting out there, you could just find me on Instagram, Raj Garcia. Same with Facebook. And my website is withraj.com because I'm with you. I chose that for a reason. I'm with you. And if you go to my website, you'll see what the acronym with Raj means. It's actually a little bit deeper than the meaning that you'll take from it. A little bit deeper. So check it out. It's on the page. And that's all for now. Look forward to hearing from you. If you got any insights, anything came up after listening to this, drop me a message. Otherwise, get excited for the next episode. See you later.